What's up, y'all? Rich Slaton here with the semifinals and finals, the top 4 of my $500 birthday open tournament. 1,000 players entered him. I mean, the full thing. We filled that bad boy out. Top 16 made a bracket, and now we're down to the final 4. Check out the prize pool, what they're playing for. All 4 of these players have already gotten to the $20 level. The 2 winners of these semifinals make at least $60. The winner getting $360 to celebrate my 36th birthday. So we're going to be getting into these semis and finals. It's going to be a best of 5 set. Ban on first loss. Going to be a whole lot of fun, and we're kicking off our first match here in just a moment. The players, Wallace and Pompeo on one side of the bracket. What? Absolute insanity. And on the other side, Armeen and Thomas as the other 2. So totally crazy, absolutely insane level of gameplay we've seen so far, and a huge prize pool brought a big crowd, a lot of players for it, and I am super excited for it. Kicking things off, the first of our 2 semifinals will be Wallace against Pompeo. Remember, you ban only on first loss in this best of 5 set, so no bans for game number 1, and we'll have bans coming in as time goes on. We'll be with that game in just one moment, folks. It's going to be Wallace versus Pompeo. Wallace has already won this tournament once before, the $100 weekly Mad Cat Open. Pompeo has also already won a $100 weekly Mad Cat Open. I do this every single week, madcat.com/Rich Slaton. Let's go ahead and jump in to game number 1 of this best of 5 set between 2 champions. Of course, Pompeo, one of the best known pros, currently with Chivas Esports after spending some time with Cream. Wallace is a top-tier semi-pro who has been rumored to be connected to some CRL teams in and out, and had some great performances in the semi-pro and kind of Tier B pro circuit over the last year or so. Certainly a high-level player. Expecting fireworks in this one between Pompeo and Wallace. Here we go. So Pompeo with some Royal Hogs to open things up, and Wallace going fast and cycling. It looks like it's going to be Hog EQ with Mini P.E.K.K.A. And there you go, Goblin Cage. New meta, Goblin Cage seems to be the big winner. Hog does not connect for Wallace in the opening 50 seconds. Magic Archer, so feeling like the possibility, I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's going to be 3M. It could be with the Magic Archer, but we'll see if that's the route that he's going for. I don't believe it is, though. Pompeo with the, oh no, because he's running Hog, not Royal Hogs. Ding dong. Every once in a while you get one wrong. Curse of the Caster, here we go. First minute and 10 seconds away. Heal Spirit down for Pompeo. And it looks like Pompeo might be going that direction. We'll see what happens. Hog Rider in right-hand side again. Very quick cycle. And Hunter will take out the Hog Rider after just one shot. Mini P.E.K.K.A. left-hand lane to meet the Dark Prince. Wallace slightly behind right now against the Pompeo, the king of ladder, the 8-time CWA Challenge defender. We'll see if Wallace today runs the Pompeo deck, or if Pompeo runs the Pompeo deck. We've seen players running Pompeo's deck against him a few times, and of course we've seen Pompeo run it in this tournament as well. We'll see what happens. Hog split high, and it's the Royal Delivery. Does not keep the piggies off tower, so now a nice lead for Pompeo as we go to the final minute of regulation time. Wallace loading up. Mini P.E.K.K.A. Magic Archer left-hand lane. Hog Rider to the right-hand side. EQ in, and this should be enough for the Hog to get one shot, and it does. Doesn't get a second, and now split pigs come in for Pompeo. Good job to avoid the Royal Delivery's full power. You might see Pompeo go that direction a few more times now. Does have the ability to create some nice dual lane pressure. We can counter push when he does get that Goblin Cage down, and that way you do reduce the efficacy of that Royal Delivery, which is so powerful right now. The other big winner of the recent Buff Olympics. Dark Prince, Hunter, nice geometry there from Magic Archer, getting a little bit of damage on both of those. Final 15 seconds of regulation time. Log trying to make a bit more room. Pompeo firmly in the lead, damage on both sides. But this Mini P.E.K.K.A. Hog Rider combination should be enough to get through at least one shot for the Hog, and it does get one. Magic Archer not doing much in terms of support here, but that's all you needed was the one big Hog connection. 1070 right-hand lane for Pompeo. 1159 left-hand lane. Again, split. A 3-1 split here. Royal Delivery does come out onto the 3, which is the right side to go to. Heal Spirit keeps those piggies going a little bit longer, though. Having a feast on the left-hand side. Down under 500, under 400. Almost down to 333, close to 300. And now it's Wallace trying to put some pressure on the other opposite lane. Bats behind the Hog Rider going to be helpful here. Does the Hog get a shot? It does not. Hunter able to pick up after the block here. Right-hand side, final 90 seconds. A little bit of geometry. 2 shots, 3 shots in from the Magic Archer. 533 to 333. This thing is insanely close right now. Pompeo does have the ability to go both with the EQ and the log. Just playing some defense here, making sure that Hog Rider does not get it done. Look at that. Pompeo gives up a ton of shots on that side. Going to bank some elixir and make one good push when this does get in. Pigs go all on the left-hand side. Does not split here. That Royal Delivery gets the Heal Spirit off the board. Not going to be enough. Pompeo gets game number 1. GG, well played. Beautiful gameplay by Pompeo there at the end. Loved the way that he saved some elixir. Knew, hey, I can give the Mini P.E.K.K.A. some shots over on that left-hand side and gain an advantage here going into the final moments of the game. 1 up right now for Pompeo in this best-of-5 set. And now Wallace gets to ban 1 card. And that card is his only ban, global for the entire rest of this best-of-5 set. So we'll see what Wallace comes in with for a ban. Magic Archer is going to be the ban for Wallace. So let me go ahead and throw that ban on the board here in just 1 second. That's going to be for Wallace. Let me go ahead and find that real quick. I'll load that in for you. Guys, this is happening live on stream for those of you watching this on YouTube. So this is also not just happening for a video of you guys on YouTube, but also live on stream at the moment. Oh, let me go ahead and I did that on the wrong side. Let me go ahead and get it this time. Magic Archer will now not be allowed for the remaining games if we go all 5. That means up to 4 more games with no Magic Archer. Let's go ahead and get game number 2 going. Wallace versus Pompeo. The latter standout currently in the lead. And here we go. Bans on the board, as you can see. So Firecracker down for Pompeo. Musketeer for Wallace. Looks like Pompeo going Hog Rider with the giant skeleton and getting really aggressive early on. Firecracker dodges the Mini P.E.K.K.A. And that's just a nice sequence there for Pompeo to keep that alive and keep harassing Wallace. King Tower activation should be pretty easy here. Does get it down. Hog Rider goes opposite direction. Pompeo keeping the pressure on right now, early on in the game. This is a crazy match to be the semi-final, but of course, with this big prize pool, who knows? So Wallace looks like he's going to be going Goblin Giant Sparky Rage here, most likely. Magic Archer is the ban. You ban on first loss, so Wallace losing game number 1 did pull the ban of Magic Archer. So splitting the Sparky and the Goblin Giant, nice kite on the Mini P.E.K.K.A. Won't be enough though, Mini P.E.K.K.A.'s not going to die to that, so Spear Goblins have to pick it up. 1773 left-hand side, Wallace takes the lead with the split lane pressure. Musketeer, nice kite with the Heal Spirit on that Mini P.E.K.K.A. Thing that people don't do enough with the Heal Spirit is little kites like that. It can save you towers. If you just use that Heal Spirit just to distract for a half second, move something over a little bit. You saw the efficacy there from Wallace in that moment. Very, very smart play by him to save that left-hand tower. It's not even a 2,000 IQ. It's just like a 120 IQ play. Just get into like solid IQ plays. There you go. Hog Rider does get in. Get a couple shots in before Sparky can take it off. 1175 right-hand side with the final minute of regulation coming on. Here we go. Double elixir time. And Pompeo does have the lead, so Wallace setting up into the weak side. We'll see if he splits his pressure again or decides to go all on this lane, but that Goblin Giant, or that Giant Skeleton to make things very hard for the Sparkies over in that lane. Heal Spirit does leap over the log. That is really, really huge for Wallace. Mini P.E.K.K.A. connects, Goblin Giant connects, and this Rage deck probably has Pompeo absolutely raging right now. And what was a game that was pretty good for Pompeo has now turned into an absolute nightmare. And that Heal Spirit jumping over the log, just the timing of that, really, really frustrating for Pompeo. So now we'll see if he can get a tower down and also hold off against this Sparky. To be a really tall order for him to get that one done. Hog Rider not going to do it. That's going to be it. GG, well played. We're going to have an even match here. 1-1. Pompeo and Wallace playing for a shot at $360. And and definitely pulling no punches here. Game number 2 goes to Wallace, and that was a big steal there. Just got through with that. Heel spear, leaping over the log, and here you go. Stats courtesy of our friends at Stats Royale. You see, it only took one rage. That can totally change the game. We saw it change the game. And Pompeo now bringing his ban in. Musketeer will be off the board for the remainder of this game. Let me go ahead and load in that Musketeer ban. So we have that one on the board as well. So now Magic Archer and Musketeer. This is going to be really interesting with these two bans to see what kind of decks these guys choose at this point. All tied up 1-1 in this best-of-5 set. Remember, all 4 players currently in our semis have already won $20, courtesy of our friends at AMG, Aftershock Media Group, Clash with Ash, and Power Bang. Giving a lot of support to competitive Clash Royale and competitive mobile gaming overall, and the mobile gaming content creators. So AMG providing some of the prize pool, Mad Cat itself providing some of the prize pool along with myself. So the 3 of us coming together, Mad Cat, AMG, and myself, to put together this big-time tournament, $500 total prize pool for this thing. And if you want to see what I'm talking about, boom, there's the prize pool breakdown. Winner gets $360, that's $36 for my birthday. Let's go ahead and jump into game number 3. So the bans are Magic Archer and Musketeer. Will people take to the skies now? Seems rife for some aerial attack with both of those no longer in play. Wallace looking like he's going Royal Giant potentially here. We'll see if that's the case. If it is, this RG deck has been very popular, but really susceptible to whatchamacallit, graveyards. Score is 1-1 right now between these two players. So Wallace is running that RG cycle deck. Inferno Dragon beats the bats. Snowball protects the Inferno Dragon. And it's Ram Rider for Pompeo. It's going to be hard to get through for Pompeo with Rail Delivery and the Goblin Cage. And that poison for the Firecracker is a -1 trade every time for Pompeo, so we'll see. This RG deck, I think, has the matchup here. The 2 really bad matchups for this deck are Graveyard and Bait. Graveyard being the worst one, Bait being challenging just because of that delivery time, although we've seen, I think it might have even been Wallace, maybe it's been Armeen instead, playing this this Royal Delivery well against Bait before. But definitely Graveyard is tough. But having this double combination of the Goblin Cage and the Royal Delivery, then you add in the Firecracker and how hard it is to get off the board here for Pompeo. This might be a difficult one for him. Although we'll see how Wallace is able to break through with that Royal Giant against all these pieces. A lot of ways to keep that Royal Giant stuck at the top. And again, Snowball in does not get all the bats. And now Ram Rider trying to get through, but Goblin Cage stops it right in its tracks. And that Inferno Dragon stays alive just a little bit long. Yeah, P.E.K.K.A is rough for this deck as well. Someone commenting in the chat. P.E.K.K.A Bridge Spam has proven to be the hardest matchup for me with this deck, even though it's really like a 55-45 matchup. I've struggled against it. And as a lot of people have as well, but it is a 55-45 at least for P.E.K.K.A P.E.K.K.A Bridge Spam. But right now, Wallace just seems to have all the defensive answers. And that Royal Delivery should get in time, and it does. Stops the charge, but Ram Rider still connects a little bit. And with that, Pompeo not that far behind on Wallace. Gonna get a Bandit charge on here as well. Oh my word. Oh my word. Wow, 442, and just like that, suddenly Pompeo in the lead here. As we go into sudden death overtime, Wallace in a lot of trouble. Wallace in a pile of trouble. Ram Rider connects, and that's it. Game number 2, or game 3 goes to Wallace. It goes to Pompeo. Now Pompeo with match point in this game. Wow. Absolute wow. Let's go ahead and load up those stats from our buddies over at Stats Royale. Go to statsroyale.com to get all your next chess information. And there you go. Wallace not able to capitalize early. And just got stuck behind near the end. Gave up a lot of damage to a Ram Rider, and that was it. Bandit got in. The big Bandit dash was massive. Very interesting. So here we go. Game number 4. Pompeo currently with match point. Up 2-1 on Wallace. Bans are still Magic Archer and Musketeer. Very interesting. Yeah, maybe I thought that was a matchup for Wallace. I could be wrong. Between the Inferno Dragon and the E-Wiz and the Ram Rider, does make it hard for the connection for the Royal Giant to connect on tower. And no EQs from Wallace. Notice that as well. Not able to get any EQ cycle for damage. The cheapest way to do the best elixir, like damage per elixir card, I believe, in the game right now. Or pretty close to it. Maybe the Rocket does more per elixir, right? But for 3 elixir, the amount of damage it does is insane. Never used the EQ once. Here we go. Pompeo with match point in our semifinals. And goes with the Pompeo deck. Rocket does more per elixir, yeah. The Rocket also costs 6 versus 3. Can't quite cycle it that quick. King Tower activation, courtesy of the NATO. Wallace going Ice Wiz Bomb Tower NATO. Very interesting. Minor wall breakers in left-hand side, Goblin Cage high. Yeah. Rocket does do more per elixir. You just can't cycle it as fast. And look at that, Ice Wiz going the wrong direction here. NATO pulls that back pretty easily. So Pompeo does have match point 2-1, but this is going to be a difficult matchup for him against all that and the Rocket. Ooh, boy. Ooh, boy. Smart play by Wallace. Great choice here. Hadn't seen the Pompeo deck yet. Hadn't seen it once yet, and then pulls it out at the right time. Pulls out this minor wall breakers with Ice Wiz NATO Rocket Bomb Tower. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, if you guys, if those of you watching this on YouTube later, the Mad Cat chat right now is just, it's like snipe, 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 snipe. Nothing he can do here. Pomp got sniped. Wallace time. Easy win. I think we're going to be going to a Game 5, folks. This is exactly what we want to be seeing. Fireball in on the, doesn't get the Valk, but does get the Ice Wiz. Minor in. Valk has to go all the way back. NATO to reset everything. Pompeo currently up. Pompeo currently with the lead. We'll see if he can hold on to that in this difficult situation. Hard for Pompeo to get through, but not entirely easy to get these wall breakers on tower as well. And look at that Inferno Tower burning off the bomb tower. But NATO pulls it all back in range. Might get death damage here on the right-hand side, though. Every one of those death damage is going to be big. Goblin Cage picks up the wall breakers, minor in. Here we are in sudden death overtime. And Pompeo does have the lead. Minor into the bat, making the Valk take a long walk. Fireball makes some more room for the Minor. Brilliant play here by Pompeo, and so now it's Wallace starting to rocket cycle with 1:42 left. Minor in, wall breakers do go to the Goblin Cage. So Pompeo, and chat's making the point right now that he's played this matchup a ton of times most likely. Certainly knows what to do in this situation as well as anybody would. Minor and Zap to the back here. Minor will not get any more damage. Minor goes to the inside here for Wallace on the opposite end. Pompeo still with a slight lead. Rocket against Fireball Zap. Pompeo going to go ahead and eat that Ice Wiz damage. Wallbreaker's going opposite direction. Cage should be in cycle, plays the cage high this time. Miner going, does he have the pickup for it? Pompeo does not. Wallace still in the lead slightly. 651 right-hand side for Wallace, 739 for Pompeo. Miner goes to the number 3 spot, inside Fireball to support, 338. Pompeo better help or that rocket's gonna get in rocket. Nope. Ooh, man, Pompeo played a gem. Wallace with a good deck choice. And in the end, Pompeo couldn't catch that last critical miner to keep that out of rocket range. Wallace gets on tower, goes to the number 3 spot. Rockets get on tower. GG. Well played. What a game. Pompeo, with those minor fireballs, nearly able to take it back away. And like I said, like people said in chat, definitely knows this matchup. And here, let's take a look at the matchup, courtesy of Stats Royale. Take a look at the actual decks here one more time. Ooh, boy, we're all tied up, 2-2. 2-2. And you can see, Pompeo, it was the minor fireballs that nearly got it done. A little bit of damage from those death bombs from the balloons, but Wallace able to hold on in the end. Pompeo nearly won that one. Here we go, game number 5. Pompeo versus Wallace. Let's go, bands, Magic Archer and Musketeer. Miner into the safe spot, right-hand side. Bat's the only thing in hand to counter that for Wallace, so needs a couple of shots. 422 in right-hand lane. So Pompeo looking like he's going Miner Muskaloon. Wallace looking like it's going to be Hog Rider, most likely. There you go. So Bomb Tower, Bats, Spear Goblins. Very difficult to break through for Pompeo with the balloon. Oh no, no Musketeer because Musketeer's banned. Ding dong. Pompeo going back to what he knows. It's Miner Muskaloon. Musketeer's banned. Meme me. So Inferno Dragon goes to the Knight and Royal Delivery as well. Very interesting. So look at all that. Bats, Bomb Tower, Royal Delivery, and even Spear Goblins in support. 2 different zap baits with the Spear Goblins and the Bats. It's going to be real hard for Pompeo to get anywhere here with these balloons. We'll see what he can do. Nearly pulled out a beauty last game. Balloon in, Miner in, Spear Goblin, so he can't really see if he zaps those, the Bats come out. And Royal Delivery, I mean, this is just a pile of defense here for Wallace. Hog Rider in. Does get 1 shot. There you go. 1647 right-hand lane. Final 45 seconds of regulation time. Good fireball value. Doesn't get 2 of the Spear Goblins, so a little bit of a rough one there for Pompeo in that moment. Goblin Cage will pick this one up. This would be a healthy counter push coming in from Pompeo at this point. Can he do anything with it? Miner does go into the Spear Goblin, so nice placement here. Delivery goes high. Fireball in, trying to make some room. And it will, and he does have Zap and Cycle to deal with Bat. Does he get it down? No, saves the Zap on the defensive side. This is just absolutely rough for Pompeo. Absolutely a rough one for Pompeo. Cycling logs as Wallace. Hog Rider in. Goblin Cage will pick up. EQ able to get on the Goblin Cage. Does not avoid the damage there. Hog Rider does not get a shot. Okay, so here we go. This is a big push for Pompeo. He's gotten close a couple of times with these. He goes Balloon Miner opposite lane. Away from the Bomb Tower. Not even worried about the zap here. Fireball might come in. Now he zaps. Goblin Cage picks up the Hog. The Hog will connect on the right-hand side. 341 to 386. What a great play by Pompeo to switch lanes. Wallace getting a little bit cheeky with those bomb towers, a little bit too complacent. Miner goes to the number 3 spot. Fireball to help. Miner gets on tower. Can he stop this Hog Rider? 17 HP. A zap will do it. Pompeo wins this one somehow. Pompeo wins this one somehow. Oh my God. Oh my God. Ooh, we're not worthy. We're not worthy. How did he win that? How did he win that? Pompeo. Unbelievable. Should I just write him a 360 check right now? Is someone going to stop him in these finals when he just did that? OP. OP. Let's go. Whoo. Chivas looking like they're going to be fire in CRL this season, boy. Man. There's the stats from Stats Royale. How did he break through that? And it was really just one bomb tower. Wallace getting complacent with the bomb towers, right? Wallace getting those bomb towers set up on the right-hand side, kind of pre-setting it up, thinking Pompeo's just stuck on this side. Pompeo goes, oh, you're in a bomb tower way over there? Well, watch this. Goes opposite lane, gets enough, holds off against the Hog, gets the timing with those minor fireballs, and then gets the zap in. Jing, cha-ching. Whoo, boy. Let's keep going. That's our first of our 2 semifinals. What an amazing semifinal that was. Yeah, then that's a good point in the chat. How do you throw all your counters as a balloon on the right-hand side? Guess feeling like, hey, just setting up on that side. Pompeo gets the win here. Let's check out that. We'll come out and check. There we go. The bracket, courtesy of our courtesy. Who cares? Challenge bringing us the bracket. Pompeo will be moving on now to face the winner of Armeen versus Thomas in our other semifinal. Whoo, boy, come on. What a crazy finish. What a crazy finish there. Pompeo got to be feeling good. Into the finals. We'll be playing for that 360. Let me go ahead and throw that prize pull up here. So $20 will go to Wallace, who played really, really well. Made some good deck choices. But wow. Let's go ahead and start this game off. Other semifinal. Who else will face off against Pompeo? Who will dare to face Pompeo for that 360? Thomas and Armeen. Here we go. Semifinal number 2. Oh, man. What can live up to that? What can beat that? Can anything beat what we just saw? It's another best of 5 set. Bands on first loss. Dude, Wallace played great. Wallace played great. Pompeo just, Wallace got into a rhythm, and Pompeo just said, forget your rhythm, bro. Other lane, GG, well played. What a win there. What a win there. So we'll see if these guys can pull it off. If anyone here can stop what's happening. Trying to find, let me see, there we go. Go ahead and get our stats prepped for our next game. Thomas versus Armeen. And Armeen had a great time in those, in the first 2 rounds of the bracket. Had to beat Vitor and Faust to make it here. Thomas went through Gara and Professor Light. Armeen, though, already beat 2 pretty nasty players to make it this far, so we'll see how he fares against Thomas, who's by the way an 8K player. Thomas currently ranked 97th in the world on ladder, personal best of 84.99. The Argentinian is absolutely no joke. Thomas can certainly ball. We've seen it here before. Armeen playing Hog EQ cycle. And Hog does get on tower a little bit late there with that Royal delivery. Delivery from the opposite side. Yeah, we'll show profiles at the break. Graveyard in. An immediate hog the opposite direction. A lot there on defense for Armeen, so hog doesn't get a shot, but Graveyard doesn't do much for Thomas either way. Thomas up ahead slightly in the final 30 seconds. Hog Rider now switching lanes for Armeen. He has to spend 7 on that defense, although is defending against 8, so good play there for Thomas. Let's see if he can capitalize at some point. Has not been able to get a Graveyard off again. Hog bats again right-hand lane. Rail delivery not available fast enough, so Hog still gets connects on the right-hand side. There's a faster cycle here for Armeen. We'll see if he can keep on utilizing that. Poison in. This is going to be a tough defense. Log to get the Skellies off, and then the Spear Goblins inside. Good chunk of damage here with that Mega Minion coming in to help out. Hog Rider connects opposite lane. These guys staying very, very close. 10:39 right-hand side for Thomas. Armeen, 13:54, 90 seconds left. Hog Rider in again. And this time delivery a little bit earlier with the Dark Prince, not able to stop the connection. 7:75, a big counter push in the right-hand lane. Does Thomas choose to go this way, or does he go back to the side he's been playing on? Yes, he does. Bar Barrel, Graveyard in. Poison now. Will keep bats from getting in there. Hog Rider coming. Does Thomas have enough defense? Goblin Cage stops it, but EQ in. That's going to be GG. Well played. Armeen takes game number 1. Very, very nicely done by Armeen, who's been playing a great tournament. Been playing an absolutely great tournament from top to bottom. Game number 1 for Armeen, and we'll be getting some bans here in just a moment. So we'll see what Thomas is choosing to take off the board for the rest of this. And no, Thomas can ban later, try if he wants to. Doesn't have to ban yet. You can ban whenever you're on your first loss, so we don't need to have a ban. So it looks like Thomas is going to hold off on a ban. So we're going to go ahead, and Thomas is not going to ban here after the game 1 lost. So very, very interesting. So no ban coming in. Here comes game number 2. Kind of a shocker. Maybe Thomas wanted a little more look at Armeen's deck pool. Let me quickly show you Armeen's profile here. So Armeen, 6K best, has a 20-win badge. Let's go ahead and jump into the game. Things getting spicy here, absolutely. So Thomas looking kind of golem-y. Maybe lava. Armeen playing this pretty slow for having seen a Night Witch. Waits for the baby dragon, so times that perfectly with the baby dragon to go the opposite direction. So it could be Graveyard for Thomas. And it's Piggies with Skelly Barrel for Armeen. Mega Knight comes out, not liking that one. Feeling more like Graveyard now with the Mega Knight. Gonna be curious to see how Armeen deals with G-Wise if this is, in fact, Graveyard. So Armeen going Royal Hog Skelly Barrel. GY defense is going to be difficult with a Firecracker, Bats, and Skeletons, depending on what that final spell is. Either way, it's still going to be challenging. Mega Knight on the Pigs. So a pretty good matchup for Armeen in game number 1, and looking like a pretty good matchup for Thomas in game number 2. $1664 right-hand lane on Thomas's tower, 1985. A year after I was born, by the way. I was born in 1984. 36th birthday party. Let's go. EQ in. And Graveyard down. Yeah, how does Armeen defend Graveyards here? This poison doesn't do much for Thomas, actually. Doesn't get the Bats and doesn't get the Firecracker. That poison getting nothing helps Armeen out a ton. Takes the lead here. Firecracker will do a little bit more chip damage. If Armeen can defend this push, that poison missing everything might be the game changer here. Has to play poison on defense. That's going to be it. That's going to be it. Piggy's in. Mega Knight going to try to counter here, or the Goblin Cage picks up, not Mega Knight available. EQ does it. That poison was GG right there. Thomas poisons, gets no Bats, gets no Firecracker, just gets tower damage, and the counter push totally changes it. Armeen does a great one here, and now up 2-0. Let's go ahead and take a look at those stats. And you can see, Thomas played 4 poisons, but it was one of them that really created the big problem. And now Thomas is banning Firecracker. So we do finally have a ban on the board. Thomas choosing to use it at this stage in the game. So Thomas now taking Firecracker out for the remainder of our games, which could be 3, could be 1. We'll see. But we do finally have a ban in. And here we go. Game number 3. Armeen with set point and a chance to go to our finals and compete for $300. Armeen making a case for getting noticed for sure here. The players he's beat. Had to win a 1,000-person tournament to get to this stage. Then had to beat Vitor and Faust in BO3s. No bans, BO3s, but definitely playing some good Clash Royale and taking advantage of the mistakes. Had a good matchup in game 1, bad matchup in game 2. Took advantage of the mistake, and now in a good spot here. Armeen is from the Netherlands. Did play in World Royale League Season 2 for the Dutch side when they got 4th place. And Hog in, so Armeen going with probably the most popular meta deck right now. Thomas going, looks like GY. Here we go, first minute 20 away, and Armeen trying to keep pressure on. Maybe a little bit cavalier there with those Spear Goblins. Gave away a little bit of Elixir. Thomas needs to figure something out. Firecracker off the board now, so don't have to worry about that. Royal Delivery does get in a little bit late. And that Royal Delivery timing. Royal Delivery is so strong, but the timing can be so difficult. And yeah, in the chat, Giraffe76 saying this is the same matchup as the first game. Well, that first matchup was in Armeen's favor. If this is the same, it could be a short night here for Thomas. So Dark Prince right-hand lane. GY in. Bats go right into the poison, so maybe Thomas learned some things. This would be a good chunk of tower damage left-hand side. But maybe similar to the first time, Thomas having trouble getting defenses down just quite fast enough for those Hog Riders. And that could create problems for him as times go on. This is about, let's tell you, a 60-40 and 70-30 matchup for Armeen on paper. Delivery in, but Hog connects. Still plays the EQ. A lot on the board right now for Thomas. Rail delivery high, Spear Goblins in the middle. Knight and Log playing defense on the GY on the left-hand side, but quite a bit of damage on the right-hand side now as well. Thomas in a good position here. A difficult matchup, but with a solid lead on both sides. He's defended these Hogs very, very well so far. Minute 40 left in sudden death overtime. I don't know about that delivery on the right-hand side from Thomas. Might have been time to just eat that damage. And because he spends that rail delivery, now he is behind. 6-14 on the right-hand side for Thomas's tower. Armeen now with a chance to steal this one back. Dark Prince, will it connect? No, Knight picks up the Dark Prince. Final minute coming. Hog in now from Thomas, or from Armeen. EQ to get that off the board. Hog Rider, will it survive for a hit? It does not, 4-10. A lot on the board right now for Thomas. GY Poison might be enough to finish this thing off. Rail delivery high, Hog Rider trying to beat it out. Graveyard and Poison in. Log trying to clear off the Graveyard. And the cage does not pick up the Hog Rider. So Thomas takes a huge lead, and then Armeen comes out, goes 1, 2, 3, sweep. He's in the finals and playing for $360. Ooh, boy. Armeen has looked great against good competition, but now has a big step up where he will face S-tier competition. Armeen now has to face Pompeo for a shot at that $360. Can he do it? Can he win it? It's going to be insane. Armeen, personal best, 6.3K. Right? Not a big profile here out of Armeen. He is a 20-win challenge winner, has had some good games here, and we're ready for the finals. Let's go ahead and get that bracket so you can check it out. It's going to be Pompeo versus Armeen in the finals. And we'll see, Armeen hasn't been flown into that next section yet, but you know what he just did. He just went 3-0 against Thomas. This is it. 1,000 players down to 2. And what's on the line? $360. Let's go ahead and kick off these finals here. Pompeo and Armeen. Armeen with a best of 5 with bans. Real chance here. Real chance to do some real damage. We'll see. Some people saying that Armeen has another account where he's been able to get up high, able to push pretty high on ladder. You know, I'm going to have to check out Armeen's Twitter account and see if maybe he's linked a better personal best up there at some point. I'll check that out in just a moment. Here we go. It's going to be Pompeo against Armeen for $360. Let's go ahead and get this one going. It's going to be super fun. I'm super excited for it. Armeen, yeah, now I'm looking at his Twitter profile. Personal best, 83.76. Highest global tournament finish, number 31. So Armeen definitely can ball. And so it's to be a best of 5 with bans. Ban on first loss, same as our last 2 sets. Between Pompeo and this young kid, this 18-year-old Armeen. Here we go. Game number 1. And there are currently no bans yet. Ban on first loss. Pompeo, bottom of your screen. Armeen, top of your screen. Pompeo won the $100 last week. He was the big winner last week. Can he do it 2 weeks in a row and this time take down the big birthday prize? 36th birthday, $360 to that winner. Let's go. So Armeen running Skelly Barrel again. Is this that Hog Rider Skelly Barrel deck that he ran in the last game? Have to imagine Pompeo was watching, that's for sure. Good minor chip here from Pompeo to open things up. And now Piggies go opposite way from Armeen, picked up by the Goblin Cage. Magic Archer to support defensively. And now Pompeo with a little chance to counter push here. Some decent elixir on the board. Gets one shot from the brawler right-hand lane. Armeen now trying to turn the pressure up. And no King Tower activation for Pompeo. You saw what he was going for. Didn't get the King's Cannon out. Not as important against the Hogs, but against those Skelly Barrels. Could save a skeleton shot or two. Of course, you don't want to let a skeleton live long enough to get a shot from that one of those King Tower cannons. But who knows? Dark Prince and Piggy's in left-hand lane. Delivery gets a lot of value there. Takes the shield off. Firecracker cleans up as well. So Armeen now with a counter push and selling out, going down to 0 elixir at this stage in the game. Sensing a potential opening here, can he get it done? Firecracker gets it all the way coast to coast through the brawler to the Magic Archer. Armeen playing really aggressive here. 16:32 left-hand side for Armeen, 16:25 right-hand side for Pompeo. 44 seconds left in regulation time, and Pompeo now finally pulls the piggies. Splits lane. But again, Goblin Cage, Rail Delivery holds on nicely. Magic Archer and Log defend easily right-hand side. Firecracker off the board, 13-14 to 14-28. 22 seconds left in regulation time. Pompeo splits again, and Delivery out of cycle now. Is this a chance for a couple of those piggies to get on tower left-hand side? Skelly's come out to help. Does get one little snout tap left-hand lane. Will that be much? Skellies get all over that tower right-hand side. Not enough to play with the Log there at that moment. And so just like that, Armeen in the lead, 802 to 1165 as we enter sudden death overtime. Dark Prince left-hand lane. Piggies go to split. They all go right to that deeply placed Goblin Cage. But a Heal Spirit comes in and keeps them alive for a little bit longer. And just like that, Pompeo is now back in it. Skeletons, though, from that barrel continue to get value on the right-hand side for Armeen. The Log has not been usable on defense consistently. Firecracker has a bit more chip damage, and now Armeen has damage in both lanes, significant damage. Goblin Cage picks up on the inside, EQ, trying to make enough room. Log does push all of that back, very little damage right-hand lane, but now Armeen starting to get pretty close to spell cycle range. 2 EQs would finish things off. Question is, does he feel comfortable just cycling EQ and playing defense? Does he recognize if people aren't even used to the EQ doing this much damage yet necessarily? Goes Pigs in as well. EQ down. So now he knows he's in EQ range. Pompeo logs it all back, doesn't need it. Armeen wins game number 1. Ooh, that's 4 in a row. Actually, that might be 5 or 6 in a row, depending on, I don't remember how Armeen's round of 8 match went, quarterfinal match went. Armeen now up 1 against Pompeo. Very, very nicely played by the Netherlander. Let's go ahead and get those stats up from our friends at Stats Royale. Get those loaded on in. Boom, there you go. Armeen and Pompeo. Let's go ahead and check out what the ban card is going to be from Pompeo banning Earthquake. So one of the most meta cards in the game going to be out now. Going to be really interesting to see how this shifts the game with Earthquake no longer available for the remainder of this set. Here we go. Game number 2 coming your way. Earthquake, the ban from Pompeo. Very, very curious. Curiouser and curiouser, as they say. All right, game's going to get started here in just one moment. There's your prize pool. This is the finals, playing for $360. Let's jump into it. Game number 2, Armeen up 1. Wallbreakers split at the bridge. So Armeen going most likely minor Wallbreakers. Could be anything. EQ is banned, and it's Graveyard for Pompeo. Nothing for those bats. So despite the tankage from the Goblin Brawler, Pompeo doesn't get anything out of that. Knows he can't play too aggressive against minor Wallbreakers. And good split lane pressure here from the Dutch kid. The 18-year-old Armeen gets 1884 on the right-hand side. Played that one smart. First minute away, and here we go. Pompeo goes Night Witch to the right-hand lane. Giant down for Pompeo, Graveyard in. And this time poisons, but the bats go high, so Armeen... Oh, that's Armeen's poison, never mind. Armeen defends low with poison, high with bats, easily holds the line, and now gets a ton of chip damage with that miner. Armeen doing a job right now on Pompeo. Wall breakers in, snowball will be enough to defend. So the Hunter can certainly do a job against that giant. Poison for the Graveyard. Bats, as well as another option on defense. I'm going to be curious to see how Pompeo chooses to get past this. We saw Pompeo play with his back against the wall in the last match against Wallace. The question is, can Armeen continue to play no-mistake Clash Royale? That's the big question, because Wallace had a good shot, but a couple of key mistakes changed things. Delivery comes in, and Giant will connect on that right-hand side. Graveyard will get a little bit of damage. And now look at this. Pompeo is up by quite a bit of elixir. Good damage on the far side. Minor wall breakers in. Uses the arrows finally. 996 right-hand lane for Pompeo. Armeen 1411 on the left-hand side. Now Pompeo setting up his next push into that weak side tower away from his weak side. Miner in. What does Pompeo have for the miner? Chooses to ignore the miner entirely and just play some offense here. Gets the Night Witch down on the back end. We'll see how that choice works out for him. We've seen Pompeo do some good min-maxing. Minor wall breakers in left-hand side. And just going to choose to eat all of that again. Pompeo making some decisions here. That's the big thing. Poison not in. Poison and bats high right now. Arrows go to help out the Graveyard. Dark Prince is still alive. Royal Delivery comes around late. Pompeo selling out with that snowball. Needs to catch a miner here or stop these wall breakers. Haven't seen the Goblin Cage for a while. Now the Goblin Cage does finally come in. Night Witch to the miner. Bats will get some damage on tower. Those bats might be it, and the bats are it. Man, Pompeo made a game of that one. Armeen. Armeen now 2 up. 2-0 on Pompeo. Whoo, for 360 bucks. This Armeen kid doing the dirty right now. This Armeen kid getting it done. Oh, I didn't even see that. Is this a new piece of information? Check this out. I didn't know Stats Royale had this in there. Was this there the whole time? Did I just not scroll down far enough? Matchup advantage stuff listed here by Stats Royale. Earthquake is still banned. Armeen up 2-0. Armeen putting down some work. Pompeo nearly able to get this one. But in the end, Armeen held on with some really nice defense. Here we go. Can Armeen sweep the great Pompeo? Can he get a kind of a signature win here? This would definitely be a calling card for him. So waiting on this last game. And here we go. Game number 3. Match point for Armeen. Pompeo needs a reverse sweep to win this thing. Remember, Earthquake is the ban card. You can see it on screen. Armeen getting very aggressive with the poison. And Armeen puts the miner in the back. And wall breakers opposite lane. So miner wall breakers again for Armeen. So same deck for Armeen one more time. And now an aggressive poison from Pompeo. Wants to get that Hunter off the board. Not going to do it, though. 23-18. And poison in left-hand lane. And there you go. Ram Rider down. Right into the Hunter. The E-Wiz and the Snowball might help, but not quite enough. Ram Rider nearly sneaks on through, but the Royal Delivery gets there in time for the Dutchman. Armeen. Now putting pressure on again. Bandit won't be enough to stop that. Does get the connection. E-Wiz a little bit late for Pompeo. 1665 left-hand lane. We'll see if Armeen keeps doing that same sequence with the skeletons and if Pompeo predicts that at some point. Miner connects for Armeen, but Pompeo gets a big chunk as well. 1750 left-hand lane for 1385 as we go into double elixir time. So Pompeo sets up Mega Knight in the back. We'll see if Armeen chooses to put some pressure in the opposite lane here at some point. Poison and Snowball clearing a big lane right now. Bandit behind. Skelly's died of the poison, and that is absolutely huge. Ram Rider does get a charged up connection. 1094 left-hand lane. Pompeo, just like that, back in the lead. Miner goes to the back and will pull the Mega Knight the wrong direction. E-Wiz comes out to help with the bats. Pompeo in a good position elixir-wise. And now Skeleton's not available for when if a bandit does come down to support. Snowball making some room against that Mega Knight, and still just pressure upon pressure upon pressure from Pompeo. We'll get that miner. Hunter picks up nice Hunter placement there by Armeen, and now he goes opposite direction. And now Armeen trying to load up left hand to the right hand lane. Finally switches sides. And Pompeo just snowballs the bats, doesn't get cute with it. And a lot spent defensively for Armeen on the left-hand lane to not get that much out of it. That's going to be a leap from the Mega Knight. No, Ice Golem does pick it up at the end. Final 90 seconds. And a second Mega Knight down. Armeen in a ton of trouble here. Pompeo not going down without a fight if he can. Bats. I mean, Skeletons do pick up the Bandit, but that's going to be it. Ram Rider's going to get in there and connect. That's going to be a GG. Well played. Pompeo gets one back. We're going to a game 4. He will not softly go. Whoo! Pompeo takes that one, and we are going to a game 4, and this tournament is living up to the billing, guys. Worth every single penny of the prize pool. Thank you again to, of course, AMG and Mad Cat for providing portions of the prize pool. I threw in a little bit of money myself. And we'll see what Armeen chooses to ban now that he has the option. Armeen with match point, with tournament point. Loser gets $60. Winner gets 60 plus 300. So it's a $300 2 games for Armeen here. Pompeyo's been in this situation before tons of times. Ban is Mega Knight. Ban is Mega Knight out of Armeen. So here we go. Game number 4. MK and Earthquake off the board. Will we go a full 5? Can Pompeo threaten the reverse sweep? Or will it be Armeen taking the big dub? There's your prize pool. And of course, guys, if you want to compete yourself, don't forget, every single Wednesday at 12 Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern, $100 open. So this is the big one. This will be happening next Wednesday as well, 12 Pacific, 3 Eastern, 9 p.m. Central European summertime. And you can get in on this same action. Here we go. Game number 4. And Armeen splits wall breakers to open. A nice opening move here. You do force some extra expenditure out with it and usually get a connection, and Pompeo does. Or an Armeen does. Right? Usually you force someone to overspend, and if you don't overspend, you get one of those two to connect. Typically when you run wall breakers to open. And it's lava for Pompeo. Lava in single elixir, but he did see a ton of elixir spent by Armeen early, so goes for it. And Armeen just loves this deck right now. Delivery in, poison down. And this is just apparently the deck that Armeen likes to run. So I think that's 3 games in a row where Armeen has run this deck. He certainly seems to enjoy it. Let's see, 1 game, 2 games. Yeah, there's 3 games in a row that Armeen is running this deck. Sure, why not? Very interesting choices. Wall breaker's taken care of pretty easily there. Let me reload that page. This is crazy that Armeen's running this 3 times in a row. But he likes it. Maybe he likes it against the deck pool, obviously against Balloonist that we're talking about. That's really nice. Miner may be caught by the guards here. No, the guards don't get the catch. The guards go behind. What will Pompeo do about this Hunter? Bats are still completely alive. There you go. Bar Barrel comes in. Poison high from Armeen. But still going to get a lot of damage for Pompeo. Miner taking just a little extra, forces that last 3 elixir, and now Armeen selling out very low on elixir. Goblin Cage will pick up on those wall breakers. Armeen now 964 away from a win here against Pompeo. Miner comes in, goes right to the Hunter. Skeletons to protect. Going to be a poison from Armeen on defense, but a poison on offense from Pompeo as well. Pompeo not going to get much on tower, though. Ahead by about 1 elixir based off that half of a ice golem there. And nice play by the guards here with Pompeo. Gets a surround, catches the Miner. Gave him a lot of chances to catch that Miner. Here we go. He goes Baby Dragon low. A little bit of elixir leakage here from Armeen. Not holding on to an advantage. And Miner goes behind the Hunter this time. Miner opposite direction. Will the wall breakers connect? The wall breakers do connect. Mega Minion trying to hold on here. Miner connects. Oh my god, can the poison come in for Armeen? Armeen needs a poison, he'll win it. Armeen comes out 3-1. GG. Well played. Oh my word. Armeen, the young kid out of Netherlands. Not a ladder, has a 8.3K player. A little bit of competitive experience. In a match for $360 against Pompeo, and comes out and goes 3-1, gets the dub, and a huge, huge win. So GG, well played to Armeen. One more look at that big-time prize pool, and if you guys are watching on YouTube right now and you want your shot at this, of course, every single week, the weekly Mad Cat $100 Open will be, I'll link that in the show notes. You can find it yourself. Make sure you come check it out. Another big GG for Armeen there. Thank you again to AMG, to Mad Cat for supporting this one. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, which should be probably right up here where this logo has been the whole time. I'll throw the subscribe logo up there as well. Watch the next video somewhere around here. On top of that, check the show notes, of course, for information on the next tournament. We'll be doing more $100 weekly opens, plus some other cool stuff coming pretty soon as well. Thanks so much for watching, guys, on YouTube. I'm Rich Slaton. See you next time.